See, it's all about relations. Like, I do care for relations. I think that's the biggest thing, be it in business or in personal life. Relationship is what matters. During when Nokia exited, I was the head of the factory. That was a very, very big decision. When I had like 3,000 people at the factory at that particular
You're
time.
accountable for them.
Yeah, and all the 3,000 lives. We normally think that, people on the shop floor, they know nothing. They know so many things, but probably we are not open enough to accept. When you listen to them with big ears, you have hundreds of ideas that comes up from them.
Tamil Nadu for manufacturing or Tamil Nadu for R&D?
Tamil Nadu for R&D to be for manufacturing. I mean, you can't take two things separately. My phone is on silent mode for years, and somehow I liked it to be that way. I missed a lot of important calls, but never had a guilt feel or something. I just call them back and tell them, hey, sorry I missed your call, but this is why it is, because when she was very close, 100 meters to the peak, there was huge snowstorm.
Okay.
And her face turned blue. Yeah, literally she froze on the spot. I had to book a helicopter and then get her down to the base, literally to the base of the town. Beyond that, I would say the loyalty that you have from people from this state, where we give a lot of importance to longevity, where we give a lot of importance to collaborating together and not like really looking short term, but really looking at long term. I think I really love that mindset of Tamil Nadu, where we have this long term thinking. Again, it was a compelling necessity of my family situation, and I was really the eldest in the entire family, and we had to take care of family duties as well. There was debts and things that we had to do, and though I was a very brilliant, bright student, but I think my family situation did not permit me that I could do a full time.
What point did you hit the 8,000? I'm just curious.
Welcome to the Guidance Podcast, your window into the state's investment landscape, industrial growth, and innovation ecosystem. We explore the latest developments, success stories, and opportunities in Tamil Nadu with insights from industry leaders, policymakers, and experts shaping the state's future.
From circuits to summits, welcome to the Guidance Podcast, where we bring you conversations with the leaders, innovators, and change makers shaping Tamil Nadu's growth story. I'm your host, Ronnie Sunny, and today we are joined by someone from Tamil Nadu who has been at the very heart of India's electronics journey. Our guest, Dr. Sasikumar Gendham, has worn many hats, from leading Salcomp as its managing director to mentoring and investing in startups to even scaling mountain summits along with his daughter. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Sasikumar. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Ronnie. It's pleasure is mine as well, and really appreciate you having me for this. And it's indeed an honor to be on the Tamil Nadu Guidance podcast series.
As we were preparing for this conversation, we came across a testimonial from someone who has worked very closely with you. Perfectly captures your leadership and your spirit. I just want to read it out so that we can start off with that. He says, Shashi, as we fondly call him, has the tremendous capability of handling customers and ensuring continued business with them. A hardcore quality professional who later moved into component engineering, Shashi handled key accounts and went on winning businesses in a planned way. A dedicated, focused, and must win kind of a person, loved equally by internal as well as external customers for his commitment.
Yeah.
An excellent communicator with an uncanny ability to make things happen.
Thank you. I think it's my colleague, one of my colleagues, from my previous role. I think he mentioned about this. See, it's all about relations. Like, I do care for relations. I think that's the biggest thing, be it in business or in personal life. Relationship is what matters. And especially when you are in business, you have to absolutely focus on lasting relationships. And therefore, customers come at your forefront. And that has been I've never lost a customer in my life to date. Like all the customers that we have brought in, I mean, due to certain situations, probably, like business have scaled down, but not really lost a customer, like just because we could not deliver on our promises. I think we have always wanted to keep our promises, and we have worked towards it. I think that is what, has been my focus area all the time, building lasting relationships.
Great, great.
And I think the quote basically comes from that perspective.
So, just wanted to start off with, going back to your early days. Like, we're keen to know, like, where did you grow up? How was Shashi as a student in school?
Yeah.
What did he like?
Mhm.
What did he not like?
Yeah.
What did he do? Like, did he play or was he always with the books?
Sure.
So,
I grew up. I was born, brought up all in Vellore district.
okay.
In a place very close to, uh, it's called Peranambat near Gudiyatham. That's my hometown where I was born, brought up, and all of that. My early days were all shaped at school. I lived with my grandparents. That's where we had a school, proper school, and so I lived with my grandparents. And on the younger side, I was an absolute curious and very ambitious person already then. And so, therefore, my principal at my school used to actually call me Iron Man.
Iron Man.
That's what he used to call me. The thing is that I was very determined already when I was young, and probably he saw that.
Okay.
He saw that possibilities, and actually that also instilled that confidence in me that that I could do more, and I should do more. Probably he was one of those first persons who instilled that in me, who saw that in me and then instilled that in me that I could do it. So he used to call me in Tamil Irumbutalayan. So that's how he used to call me. And I was also a school pupil leader when I was third standard. When the school had up to fifth, I
Okay.
was a school people leader from at third. Like I think that also brought the leadership skills in me. He was the one who guided me. His name is Mr. A. Kurandai Samapillai. So he used to be our principal of the school. So he brought that things in me. And was I a very playful kid? I was not very playful. In fact, and I was not very active in sports or doing whatever. I was very much looking into the future.
Okay.
I was always about looking into the future, what the future has in offer. Therefore, I was not very much on the playful side. I was really very much on the, I would say, serious side, probably, looking at life. There is a reason for it. The reason is because, we were not a very well-to-do family at that particular time. And I did understand that if you have to be somewhere in life, you need to have money. Just money is not alone, not the only thing, but what I meant is you really need to have a little bit of wealth and you need to create that for yourself, if you have to make a mark in life.
Okay.
So I was about that, I was looking for that because I could see people around me struggling. And then if you have to make a change, you will have to be different if you have to make a change. That was very clear in my mind. And I mean, when I was a kid, at some point in time, I thought, I know where this thought came to me. If you can earn 8,000 rupees a month,
Okay.
you can actually live a very, very luxurious life.
Okay.
I don't know where this number 8,000 came from,
Okay.
but I think, probably some conversations.
Someone would have told my
yeah,
dad is earning 8,000.
yeah, probably something like that. So that was a figure that I had hooked onto.
Okay. So that was
That,
your.
you should first try to earn 8,000 rupees a month, and then, so, but however, when I started, my first salary was about 1,750 rupees. I started with that.
Okay.
So my aim was to get to 8,000 first.
8,000. And then you're like.
Yeah. And then, then you can aim for the next one. So that's how it started. It was a bit of a playful thing, but still very much focusing on the future. So that is how I was very much like the kid, and
In
especially
school.
with, in the school.
Nice. And maybe we'll move on to when you passed out of school because I saw somewhere else that you
Yeah.
joined the workforce very
Correct,
early in your.
Correct.
What
Yeah.
was the story behind that,
Yeah.
or is that?
Again, it was a compelling necessity of my family situation, and I was really the eldest in the entire family, and we had to take care of family duties as well. There was debts and things that we
Okay.
had to do, and though I was a very brilliant, bright student, but I think my family situation did not permit me that I could do a full time
At that
at that point in time. So therefore, I decided it was my choice. Also, I decided that first I have to go learn skills, and while I learn skills, I can still, like study. That's not a problem because while I earn, I can still study. So then I joined really at 18. I was just
Yeah.
18 and like 10 days probably. So that's when I joined my first role in a company called Heikel Technologies in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Uh, my entire success in my career, I have to owe to them because they gave me a very, very strong foundation. That organization gave me a strong foundation.
What
So
did
that
you join as?
I joined in manufacturing. I joined as a testing engineer.
Okay.
So in manufacturing, we used to be making transformers that
Okay.
goes into power supplies and all of that. So that was the product that this company was manufacturing, and I joined as a testing engineer.
This was in Bangalore.
It was in Bangalore, yeah, an electronic city, because that's where all electronics used to happen. And I just landed there in electronic. Also, it happened in a way that I said, let's start from company number one.
Okay.
Start with one, with serial number one, wherever they're located. So I said, let me start from one, and let's go from there and see what happens. And 1A, 1B was a large company, but of course I couldn't go inside. Then I went to 1C, and that's when this happened. Yeah, 1C happened, and I was interviewed, and right away in like 1 hour I was on the job. I remember the day as well precisely. It used to be 29th of April,
Okay.
1998. So like 11 o'clock or something, I went for the interview, and I think 1 o'clock I'm already on the shop floor. Yeah. I finished my 10th standard, and right after that, I went on to do my diploma in electronics and communication at Bhaktavacharam Polytechnic in Kanchipuram. So right after that, like I said, because as a diploma candidate, you have the option to do your second year directly. Like I think that was one of the reasons why I chose to go that path. But then later I did my engineering, and of course after that I completed my masters and
Your
again,
doctorate.
yeah, my MBA and doctorate.
We'll
So I
get
think the
we'll
quest
get to
for
that.
quest for education was never stopping.
Okay.
But then I took a different path. That's all. So, but then was very rewarding. I mean, I'm grateful and very thankful that I took such kind of a decision to kind of
That
get
was a
into,
bold move.
yeah, get into job first, and then like then while you learn, I mean, earn, and you can still continue to learn. Like that's not a problem. Which I think has brought me where I am today overall. That early start gave me a head start there compared to many others. So that was in my case, like I think was a great opportunity for me that I did, and I started in Bangalore, as I said. From there on,
But it was a long time, right?
yeah,
I think around 7 years.
7 years. Yes. I was there for 7 years. Exactly, I joined in April '98, and I quit in April 2005.
Okay.
And so right after that, I moved on to Tyco,
Okay.
again a US-based company that used to be making connectors and
T
cables.
connectivity.
T connectivity for aerospace and defense. So I joined them there, and in a month's time or so, I was moved to Paris. I was working out of Paris in France.
So you made the transition from the test engineer to
Test engineer. My aim was to be with. Somehow, I always wanted to be working with external.
okay.
That was my I mean, it was inside me that you have to be working with external, and that's when you kind of get growth. So I said that hey, I'm handling materials, and I work with a lot of materials on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Can I work with the suppliers who makes these materials? So that is my so the way for that was that from testing, then I moved on to incoming inspection. Like I think there was a lot of materials that's coming, so incoming inspection. Can I work with suppliers and all of that? So I was there like for about 2 years with the same role, working on all the materials that came from several parts of the world. That way that's when I started communicating with the external world.
Okay.
On how I do that. And later I went on to components engineering.
Okay.
And from components engineering, I was part of project management and then the sales and marketing. I think that's my curve at Heikel.
All within Heikel.
Yeah, all within Heikel.
And at what point did you hit the 8,000? I'm just curious.
I hit the 8,000 actually already in my third year, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, third year, I believe. And so.
But many of these opportunities, did you actually go asking for it, or?
Yeah. I was not a silent kid. Like when it comes, I used to really go and then I don't want to use the word argue, but I think I'd be very vocal
About what you want.
Yeah, what you want, and then like what can you guys do to make this happen for me? You tell me what I should do to get that. Like I mean both ways. What can you give me, and also can you help me? If I have to be there, what should I be doing? Can you help me on that? Like I was very vocal on that.
Because
I was very different. Yeah.
In a manufacturing setup, or even in companies, switching across departments, it's not so easy.
Yes, it was. But I have to be thankful to all the members. Like I think some of them still communicate. We are we keep talking to each other and all of that. So they saw that like I really have a fire that I wanted to reach something, and not just once, twice, but I think I used to keep asking them, like
how can I
regularly. I mean, not just for the sake of chasing them, but I think I used to deliver and then ask. Yeah. Right. So they saw that, hey, yes, I think, we need to do. And they did. They really helped me to move forward. And I'm very thankful to all of them, like who helped me move the needle. That happened. So, which means basically the lesson there I learned is that you have to ask. I mean, if you need something, better is to ask than just to be quiet and then think that it would come one day. No. I mean, this is a world where if you have to be something, you have to ask. There's nothing wrong in asking. You may
Mm.
fail, that's okay, but at least you
You took
don't
that
have the
chance.
guilty that you have not asked,
Right, right.
not tried. Like I think so. Try, keep trying. I'm sure some doors would open. Yeah, if not doors, at least windows will open. Yeah, yeah.
Great. So from there to Tyco.
Yes,
So
Tyco. Yeah, Tyco was a
Tyco
short
short
stint.
stint, yeah.
Yeah, I was just for
2 years,
one and a half
less than a
years.
2 year.
Yeah, 1.5 years. So I was in Paris for a while, working on project management there, and then so then later came a call. When I came back to India, there was a call that came from Salcom.
Your client.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
because Salcom was my customer in my first job. There was
Oh,
at Heikel, yeah. So it was like such a pleasure working with all of them, especially being a Finnish company. I loved being there. They used to call me Black Snowman, when I used to go there, because I used to be the only the dark guy
Oh.
in the white snow, like with completely covered, and amazing it has been. I've been traveling so many times to Finland, especially to Lapland, where Santa Claus lives, and all of that region. So it's amazing experience of working with people there. So when they called me that we're setting up a factory in India, and would you like to be part of it? I think there was no second thought, and I didn't even think for a nanosecond.
Yes.
I said 100% I'm coming there tomorrow, and let's talk. And that's how it happened. So I came down to Salcomp to Chennai.
So that was your return to Tamil Nadu,
Correct,
right?
correct. That was my return to Tamil Nadu, exactly.
So how was it then? What was the situation then in Tamil Nadu versus?
At that time, I think there was only two companies that I knew were big enough, and when you used to travel by bus, you could see them. Like, oh, okay, I hope one day we have an opportunity to be in this company. And those two companies, I can say, one is Hyundai, and the other one was Saint-Gobain. So these were the only two large companies at that point in time Tamil Nadu had.
Right on the highway.
Yeah, right on the highway. Of course, then Ford came and all of that. So it was very curious, and I was very curious to see that would such opportunities, more opportunities come in India. And the largest Indian flag I saw was at the Rajiv Gandhi Memorial that time. Like traveling through that, and I said, will this place flourish? Will this place? It was really I was manifesting at that time. Would this place flourish, and would this place get like more opportunities for people of Tamil Nadu? I mean, literally, I'm getting goosebumps. I can tell you, because it was a manifestation that, and I never imagined that like it would come true. The third thing that I thought and prayed for, it did happen, and I've never imagined that I would stay for 10 plus years in a small place called Sriperum. Never even thought of.
Yeah,
No,
even
but
moved there,
yeah,
right?
I
So
physically moved there. I lived there so many years, so it happened. So thankfully those opportunities at that particular time. I'm talking this about 1998 to 2002, 2003 region. 2005, I think, was the very defining moment for Tamil Nadu when it
yes,
came to electronics. And my move back to Tamil
Tamil
Nadu
Nadu.
and Chennai, I think, was because of Salcom. When I got a call, like then I came down to meet. We had a little office in Anna Salai,
Okay.
there, and we met. But then, of course, the first time I landed into Chennai, my experience was not very pleasant.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I paid almost 400 rupees that time
Oh my.
from the Lee Meridian Hotel to where you have it was not even like 2 kilometers away. It was in the morning, like I didn't negotiate probably well or whatever it was. And then, the guy said, hey, it's so far away that, like you can't walk. I said, how much? He said, no, it's 400. And, I said, okay, fine. But then later I realized that, like, yeah, it was a lot of money. So anyway, so that was what it was. But I think that was a ticket that I paid to come to Tamil Nadu. So that's all I can say.
And then actually a
But
cheap
fond
ticket.
memories. No, I would not have remembered that if it was not that. So I fondly remember it. But then since then, I think it's been glorious growth.
Mm-hmm. But Salcom came because of Nokia.
Yes, yes. See, actually, Salcom was a part of Nokia.
Okay.
Salcom was a Nokia company, until 1991.
Oh.
So coming from Finland, Salcom was an integral part of Nokia. Then they kind of spun off later in 91 and became an independent company. So when they started decision to make phones in India and in Tamil Nadu, Salcom was invited to come here. But of course, when they thought about India, and then they said, "Oh, hey, we know this one guy, whom we have been visiting and meeting all the time. So can we call him?" And that's how I got the opportunity. So when I joined Salcom, I had two portfolios. One was, we had a new department called customer and vendor management. Like it's not very usual that you manage both sides of
both
it.
sides of
Yeah.
the yeah.
But I think, like my, you know, I think they saw that I could do both, and they said, "Okay, can you just set this up?" And I did that for quite some time, you know.
Mhm.
So we had customers. Nokia was my first customer, of course, but then we had all the big fives as our customers in Tamil Nadu. They were all manufacturing in Tamil Nadu, and some, of course, in Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh at that particular time. But Nokia was the biggest. The
Big five mobile phone
yeah,
manufacturer
all
at
the
that
big
point.
five in the world were our customers. You know, within a span of 3 years. Nokia, Samsung, Sony Ericsson, LG, and Motorola. I think these were the names in 2005 to 2008 at that particular time. Largest phone companies of the world. So all of them became Salcom customers because they all started manufacturing in India.
India.
That is what happened. So 2005, you know, like was the defining
How many
moment.
people were there when you joined? Like, were you the first set of people to
I
join?
was the first set of people. I think my number was number 14. You know, like very few. So that was the start as far as the moving to Tamil Nadu and working with Tamil Nadu and the electronics industry in large scale. What we are today in India as far as electronics is concerned, and also for Tamil Nadu, what we are in terms of electronics is concerned. I mean, we owe a big thank you to Nokia, who set up this entire ecosystem in Chennai.
Way back in 2005.
Yeah, five. Yeah, when the new SEZ Acts came in place, that's when they started moving to Tamil Nadu. So right after that, now with Nokia, then came Flextronics. Then we had Sanmina and so many other companies, you know, BYD at that time, Foxconn, and all of them started coming into India. And unfortunately, that lasted for a short period
Mm-hmm.
until 2012, 2013.
Mm.
There was a huge wave, and then, you know, like it came
Right.
down quite drastically with Nokia's exit and all of that. But then, okay, today, you know, like
So by then you were at what position were you in Salcom during the exit of Nokia?
no, during when Nokia exited, I was the head of the factory.
By then you had
Yeah. I was, I mean, I became the head of the factory in 2012.
2012.
Exactly on 2012. So that is when
Okay.
it is, and you know, also to be memorable, I took charge on 12/12, meaning like 12 hours and 12 minutes
Oh.
on 12/12, 2012. So
So almost 7 years into Salcom, you became the head of in 2005
correct.
and then
Five I joined. I mean, I joined not five. I joined 2007.
2007.
Yeah,
So in
2007.
5 years,
Yeah. In 5 years I was there, and again thanks to my CEO, president and CEO, and also the then head of India. He was also a Finnish person.
okay.
So they saw that, you know, like, yeah, probably this guy is the one who take it forward. Somebody gave you that opportunity and said that you could do it. I think you will have to prove that it was right. It was a right decision because it's a responsibility, you know, to make that happen. And that's how I mean, literally, my CEO walked into my room and he said that, you know, we wanted to hand over the keys of the factory to you. I was thinking, you know, like, hey, I am handling customers, I've been handling vendors, but then, you know, I'm not good at administration. I've never even done it. And I don't even know. I mean, what is he talking about? Then he said, I told him, you know, like, I don't know, but if you think that I can do it, I will try and I will do it.
Okay.
But then he said, no, I'm not talking about
Not as a
administration.
physical.
You know, like I'm really wanting handing over the entire factory to you so that you could run it. I mean, I can't even imagine that. I did not even dream for it at
But
that
you
point in
didn't
time.
see it coming, is it?
I
But
did not see it coming. No.
but as the head of the factory, at some point you would have.
No, but I was not envisaging for that kind of a role, you know, like immediately. Maybe one day I would like to be somewhere.
Okay.
It was what was clear, but not like should within the next 1 year or 2 years I must be. Nothing of that sort. But then it just came. Of course, there is always a saying, you know, when opportunity comes, you just have to grab
Grab
it. So when my CEO came and he said that, you know, like we want to hand it over to you and you take it forward. For a moment, I was like shocked, and I didn't know how to even react. But then I thanked him so much, and then I said, if you have the trust that I could do it, and I will do it. And I'm sure. I mean, I can proudly say I did it. You know, like not just do it, but I did it as well. And
They
yeah,
handed over.
then, you know, like 2014, I never could not have even imagined, you know, that the entire factory of Nokia would shut down, you know, in 2014 for whatever reasons, and that was a very big decision. And for me also, that, you know, when I had like 3,000 people at the factory at that particular
You're
time,
accountable for them.
yeah, and all the 3,000 lives. Um, you know, I think that something was very strong in myself that said that, you know, like, no, not just this building. I'm just going to occupy this entire place. I think that was it was like an instinct. And I did call all my 3,000 people. You know, like they all came to me once and said that everybody's shutting down. What is your plan? You know, when are you going to do?
So like a common address to
Yeah. So
everyone.
everybody. But
Okay.
then I promised them to everybody there. I said, I'm not going to shut this factory down. Whatever it takes, We will make sure that we prosper. Everybody was shut down except us.
All of the suppliers and
Everybody gone. So I think one lesson from that was also that diversification is important, because
Right.
we were the only company probably did not have only one customer.
oh, that's because you had the other
Yeah.
customers.
So we had multiple customers. So at least then we had like 1 year or so to kind of hold on to
The
it.
blow was a bit
A
lighter.
little bit more oxygen, like was available before you could buy the next oxygen tank. So that is how it was, so we had a little bit more timeline. So we had an opportunity to think and do what we could do next and what we could do differently and all of that. That changed the trajectory after that, like
Okay.
2012. Then 14, we came back on our own heels, and we started exporting quite much than to supplying locally. Then very clear that we need not just 3,000 people, we need more people. I mean,
Okay.
that came into picture. We used to be shipping to other locations of
But how
Nokia.
did you substitute that substantial market that Nokia was?
Yeah, because Nokia had also factories outside India, right?
Okay. So you could still supply to
So
them.
we had to work with them really aggressively, on the timelines and all of that, making sure that we never made a mistake, and all of that. So we gained more volumes than we were actually supplying to in India. So that is what happened, and it was fantastic journey 2014 onwards until 15, 16, 17. I mean, until we took over the entire campus in 2019, early 2020 actually, Jan 2020.
You manifested that.
Yeah, and that also did happen, and amazing it has been. I mean, I could not have imagined that something like this would happen, which means the fall and also the rise. But I think both happened. Like the fall happened, but then the perseverance we had, and I think the trust that we would go over this and kind of come up like a phoenix bird, flying colors and out of the ashes. So that was the moment, and I think that is something that's very close to my heart. It will be always reviving the
Yeah,
entire campus,
that's-
like which had like 25,000 employees, reviving back. I think one of the biggest moments of my life.
To go down and come back
Correct.
up is
Yeah, yeah. And then keeping up the word to your people. I mean, it was a commitment. I said that we are not going to shut this factory down, and whatever it takes, we'll not shut it down.
not let it happen.
I mean, that was like was no. I mean, beyond fire. I'm telling you, like to insight to kind of make that happen. Probably, like that is what all the recognitions that we get today from several parts, that we could do it. It was a defunct place for many years, almost 5 years. Yeah, and then
The entire
campus. Yeah, and then getting back to life completely was a life changing moment for me. And seeing all the people, like smiling faces after that, and a lot of people growth.
ramping up the numbers.
Yeah, yeah, and then growing from there, and not just one factory, but to the next factory, to the next factory, to the next factory. I think almost five, and we even built a new factory
Oh.
beyond, the bigger than the Nokia building itself. All of that, I think was fascinating. Yeah.
But even the region kind of recouped, right?
Yeah. I think the region recouped starting from 2016, 17 onwards. I mean, again, there I have to bring reference to the state government of Tamil Nadu's focus. I think both the guidance Tamil Nadu was formed, I think, at that time with a renewed
It was
energy.
already there, but
Yeah, correct. It was already there, but in a very small form. But then there was renewed energy stating that, we have to attract investments and we'll have to be different. And, I mean, one thing I always used to envy was the beautiful office the guidance had. And I think that only showed the vision. It only showed that we had a bold vision, I think that is, and it gave us a reassurance also from the industry, that, hey, the government here is to kind of do some things differently.
serious about it.
Yeah. And from there on, things totally changed. I mean, today, if you call Tamil Nadu the electronics capital of India, thanks to all these efforts that happened over years, be it the political will, or the bureaucrats, or all the officials in the government, and guidance and all of that. I think all of them together have made this difference and where we are today as a state. Uh, but then this journey from 2005 onwards, I think it
Right.
gave all the ingredients for the state to be one of the best in its best form.
I think a lot of companies who were suppliers or who tasted the waters also did come
Came back.
back.
Yes. Some of
Because
them
it was
came.
familiar for them to.
Correct. Yeah, they came back, and of course now they're like employ several 10,000s of people and all of that. Yeah. So that's, I mean, so the defining moment for electronics as such, I would say, as I said, Nokia's entry.
That was
And-
one defining.
Yeah, and Nokia's exit was also kind of a very, very.
It tested.
Yeah, the thing. But reviving and coming back as a state and being electronics capital of Tamil Nadu, I mean of India, like it's phenomenal. Yeah, it doesn't happen, like quite soon with very little efforts. I mean, think behind it, the kind of efforts that has all been taken. Yeah, amazing it has been. I'm so glad and grateful that I have been part of this journey. Seeing all of this ups and downs, and of course now it's a different role, but yeah.
But thanks to leaders like you also, right? That you believed, you had that vision,
Yeah,
you had that perseverance. That
correct.
like usually when things go bad, you automatically think about cost, and
Yeah.
the first thing is cut down on the people, and then you
Correct,
save on
correct.
cost.
No, but here was very different, like that we did. We said that we are not going to lay off a single person,
Mm-hmm.
but then no, we'll have to see that how we can do give that kind of impression in the minds of people, that hey, I'm not here to lay off,
Mm-hmm.
but cost is very important. You all must understand, like I mean,
They should be sensitive.
yeah, we should be very clear, and we have to be very creative as to how like we can bring the cost down. Laying off is not the only solution for cost down. I think that's one of the solutions, but not the only. I mean, if you lay off people, you're kind of laying off creativity as well. I mean, that's how I look at it. If you put the other way around to people and ask them what could we do differently, how we could do different. I mean, we involve people from all walks of life, all the way starting from operators on the shop floor to the CFO, and everybody was involved. Now we used to be sit in groups and talk and discuss and see what we can do.
How do we cut costs?
Lot of, I mean, how can we improve operations? I think cutting cost was one of the options,
Right.
but how could we improve operations in terms of productivity, in terms of yield, in terms of reducing rejections, and can we look at other markets? What are the products that we can support? Lot of these open conversations, I think, gave uh, I mean, not many MBAs could not teach. Like was taught. I mean, we normally think that people on the shop floor they know nothing. I'll tell you, like they know so many things, but probably we are not open enough to accept it. That's as leaders.
We don't
sometimes.
listen.
Yeah,
Or
correct. But you listen to them with big ears, you have hundreds of ideas that comes up from them. Yeah, and when you have commitment at that grassroots level,
right.
but there's no
Can't go
way.
wrong.
There's no way that you can go wrong. Yeah, I mean that was my strong belief. Yeah.
I just wanted to maybe touch upon one more thing, because you were the studious kind and then you left.
Yeah.
You entered the workforce early on. I could see that then you went on to do a lot of studies. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe you could touch upon it. You've gone abroad and studied as well, if
Correct.
I'm not mistaken.
Correct,
So,
correct. Yeah. See, as I said that I completed my diploma and I had to join workforce because of whatever reasons, choice, compulsion, you can say whatever it is. I mean, I think all of them came together, I would say. But then, like it's again, you define what you have to do. And then I later went on to do my engineering on a part-time course. And in fact, I stood as number one uh, course. But then, so right after that, I enrolled myself for MTech. I did my MTech
that's
at
bits.
BITS Pilani. Yeah. And then later I did my MBA at Singapore. It was basically sponsored by my company. I have to again thanks to my CEO and all of them, and I think they saw that I really need to have a management guidance and support as well. Not just skills and thing. So they said this could be a best course, and of course, also at that, my thing is that when you do something, you have to be at the pinnacle. Go reach the top in whatever you think of. And I think in education, I mean, the highest is doctorate, more or less. So I said I could not become a doctor, but at least can I aim to
Get
be
it
a
out.
doctorate, and work on it. And still, the idea was that can we do something still with people?
Uh-huh.
So therefore, my thesis was on work family enrichment of women employees in the
Okay.
electronics industry. I think that was my thesis all about in PhD.
Work family enrichment.
Enrichment, yeah. So how can you have people being happy and enriched at work, and also the experiences, the positive experiences that they gain from work could be implied upon in the families, so that could also enrich the family life a little bit, and vice versa. If you have a enriched family happiness, how could that bring to work,
Impact, yeah.
impact the work? I think that was my thesis that I did at SRM,
And very important one in electronics
correct,
industry, right? Where
yeah,
a lot of women.
women employment, yeah. So that is what we brought in a lot of changes also as part of the study. I mean, we interviewed more than like 500 people, I think, in a real interviews one to one.
Okay.
More than 500 people. Yeah, I think one was the healthcare itself,
Mhm.
and second thing is that the work pattern, how we do it. So therefore, like we designed chairs, like so many iterations we had to do, and all of that. But then we got them to a comfortable position where only when they are comfortable,
Right.
they could deliver, like comfortably. Like I think that was crucial. Of course, remuneration itself was one of the changes that we could do, bonus structures and so many other factors, how you could motivate people. recognitions and all of that, and one defining thing we also brought was that we created our own fund in the organization where employees, all of us together, used to contribute a part of our salary every month to that particular fund.
Okay.
And that was accessible only to people at the shop floor level.
Okay.
For things like education of their children. And then, I think it was very clear in me that, like no employee working in my factory should be kind of going for open defecation. I think that was something that, like we took it on us and we said, we have to build toilets to every single person who does not have one at their home. And we did it all of them, like, so that was the biggest support that we gave. And if somebody's constructing their homes, we could support part of that. We did a lot of things. Of course, I could not say that we transformed everything. We made a lot of changes, but I think we took some steps towards that direction, and we did change also. That's, I think those things were, so that going back to the whole thing. So I think people focus was the biggest priority in whatever we were doing. And I think that was also one of the main reasons for our success, because people are not willing to give up things easily. When there was challenge, they said we will cross this over because we have done so many in the past, and let's stay together and do it.
So are you currently studying anything, or you're like, I'm a doctor?
No, I've done doctorate. Completed that. I don't know because but there's still a thought in myself. I should go for postdoc, PDF we call it. Like not the portable document file PDF, but this called a postdoctorate fellow, which is kind of the highest of the highest. But I don't know. Let's see. I mean, like if it should happen, it will happen, and
But I think that's something that stands out in you, right? You learn continuously. I think that's
yeah,
what you've been
continuous
doing.
learning is a must for any individual, because the day you stop learning, I think you stop growing. As simple as that. Because the way things are growing faster today, with the AI's influence, and everything is in the fingertips. You just ask things, they're all there. So you have to be abreast of. You can't be. I mean, I'm not saying that you should know everything, but it is whatever you want to do, just take one step forward. In a day. And so therefore, I read a lot of books. I think, like books is something that, I mean, probably I have like 500 plus books at home. I read a lot of books. I don't
Even now?
Yeah,
Like,
even now, yes.
okay.
I don't read books at all on phone or no. I always like to have the physical book. Yeah. So physical book, the feeling of that is totally different. Like unlike reading. So reading is a continuous habit that one must have to be abreast of what is happening. And sometimes, like the truth, what was said 50 years ago is so valid even today. When it just reiterates when you read things, like, hey, you're not the only one, but I mean, it was emphasized already.
Someone else thought of it,
Yeah,
someone else went through it.
correct. So books are a good companion, like that is one part. And I would continue to do it. At some point in time, I would also write a book myself, and I'm in the process. It's not that I'm not. I'm in the process right now, but at the right time, we'll get it out of our experiences.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe we should just touch upon, because we were talking before the podcast, right, about switching off our phones. So you had a interesting tidbit about that you haven't put your phone on.
I think, to be honest, I bought this phone in 2021. So it's been 5, 6 years with me. I mean, it's still working perfectly. So I think there's no reason to change. So it does what it's supposed to do. And then, but then my philosophy has been that, you have things to aid you in what you want to do. So your aid should not become your distraction. And phones are a big distraction today. As much as it was discovered, it was all meant with a different intention. But I think with a lot of innovation and all of that, it's become a part of the body now. Like you feel something is missing if you don't have
incomplete.
Incomplete. So it's been, like from day one, it's been on silent mode, and somehow I liked it to be that way. I missed a lot of important calls, but never. I mean, no worries. I've never been had a guilt feel or something. I just call them back and tell them, hey, sorry, I missed your call, but this is why it is, because my phone is on silent mode for years, and it's the same reaction when I tell people, like this, and they said, how is it possible? I said, yeah, it is possible. So therefore, I think, I can get more time for myself. To be with myself, what I can think, and when I'm thinking something, I just don't need to be distracted. All of that. I mean, today we are in a world where we have a lot on our hands.
Right.
But if you have to take control of your own time, you need to know how to do it. And I think these phones are one of them that, like has given me some time so that I could read or do whatever I like to do.
It could give people panic attack even thinking about the fact that you don't
have
a phone
correct.
you don't see the notifications, but
yeah. Again, notifications, zero notifications. Zero. Literally, all the notifications are off. Yeah. But there's no need, I mean, they just bombard you with so much messages. What's the point? Yeah.
So you were at the peak of your career, or so-called career that
Yeah, yeah,
the conventional career where you aspire to be a
correct.
head of the company, and you were already there. And
Yeah.
how did you make that switch? Like, there is this concept of FIRE, right? Financially independent,
Correct, correct.
retire.
Yeah.
Was
So
it
it was. I mean, like I think you touched upon a very important card.
usually at 45 people think that okay, by 60 I should wind up? So you
Correct, correct. Yeah. And I thought 45 is my time. And I just thought it for a long,
Mhm,
but I decided quick
mhm.
and, like made it really seamless and like done. And fortunately, we had my successors from my same team that, we've been growing together. So for me, the exit was really quick. And I said, there's no point having a long transition out of that. So let's make it quick and let the next person run it, faster. So that's how I moved out. And idea was also that, like now we are doing it for one organization,
Mhm.
but can you just do it in a bigger scale?
Right.
So for me, startups were something that, that was very clear that if India has to grow
Mhm.
as a product nation, and if India has to go forward in what we're doing, I'm sure the startups are the way to do. So therefore, that's what brought me into the startup ecosystem. Like both as an investor and also as a mentor. Like working with people and all of that. I'm enjoying that. I mean, I'm enjoying that role for sure. And with mountaineering,
Understood.
like is also one which you are aware. Me and my daughter have
Yeah.
started it together. So
You
yeah,
have done 3 peaks.
we have done four peaks
4 peaks.
on of three continents.
Okay.
We first started with Mount Elbrus in Russia, and then
Just
yeah,
where does the genesis of this idea come from? Is it something that you thought of, or is it your
yeah,
daughter's
yeah.
idea?
No,
How did
it's my idea because like in my office, in my previous office, I had a back drop in my room,
Uh-huh.
which was really a mountain. It was Matterhorn from Europe.
Okay.
The reason I had that particular background, it was really a big background, like of a mountain, was that to remind myself when I enter into the office every single morning, I used to see that, like, I mean, even if you reach the top of the peak,
Mhm.
I mean, you only feel so beautiful only when you bow down and see it through the waters, like then you see it actually a little bit more bigger, not just this portion, but the reflection of it as well. So it was a reminder to myself, like whatever you grow up, but always be humble by bowing down and then looking down. So it was a reminder for me. I put that one, but then, that became so much that I said I should climb this mountain someday.
Okay.
Uh,
That particular mountain.
yeah, yeah, Matterhorn is what in my mind. I said I should climb this mountain at least one day, and that's where the curiosity came. And I started doing treks within India,
Okay.
in Uttarakhand, and
Okay.
like then I went to Nepal to do Annapurna base camp and all of that, literally. But then when I was doing all of this, like my daughter had exams and all of that, so she thought that I'm kind of escaping because she had exams, and I didn't want to sit with her and like support her, whatever that. So then she said, no, no, I have studied some of these. There is something called seven peaks of the world.
Okay.
I think, like if you're doing these two, let's do that together. I'm also coming with you. I said, I was shocked when she said that because, like one, as a father, like she's so young, I don't
Right.
know whether she can do it. And second thing is it's time consuming, a lot of efforts, and it's also,
Training.
it's
You need
yeah,
to
and
be
also it's very expensive and all of
right.
that. But then I said, okay, I gave it a thought it for a few months.
Uh-huh.
But then, okay, so we said, let's go do one first and then see what happened. And that's how we went to Kilimanjaro first.
Okay.
1st of Jan 2024. Yeah.
Okay.
We went there to Kilimanjaro, and then, like, sorry, 2025. Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, yeah. December 24, we went in, and Jan 1st, 25, we were kind of coming up. When she was very close, 100 meters to the peak, like there was huge snowstorm,
Okay.
and her face turned blue. Yeah, literally, she froze on the spot. Very close, 100 meters to the peak. So, no second thought, we had to come down immediately.
Oh.
And then, like I had to book a helicopter and then get her down to the base, literally to the base of the town for medical support. So that is what happened in Jan, and now it was a terrible start of the new year. Uh, in fact, I was literally in tears that day. Like for a worst start of the year. But then we said, let's turn this year to be the best year.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we decided, let's go do this. And then she really bought a band from Tanzania, and then she kind of wore it. She said that this is a reminder that I can do it and I will do it.
Okay.
So then we went in April to Elbrus, which was at minus 38 degrees Celsius. literally. And then, we submitted it successfully in Russia. And then we went again to Kilimanjaro, the same mountain that we could not
Okay.
in June and June 11, I think we submitted. And then later, just in October 3rd, we were in Australia. We went to Kosciuszko, the peak of Australia. And on 17th, we submitted Karsten's Pyramid, which is one of the most technical mountains in the world.
Okay.
And then it's very remote because it's in the Papua, in the Papuan forests, like where you have cannibals and all of them. So we had to fly over to the base camp and then wait there. Weather was not very supportive, but somehow we could do it. It's very technical. And Nisha actually became the youngest Indian,
Yeah.
and also probably the youngest woman in the world to have reached the peak, that particular peak. So it was amazing. So which means we turned our worst nightmare on 1st of Jan to kind of the best year, like summiting all the four peaks of in this year. So the big plan for 26 is that, to go, it's already booked. So we are there on Aconcagua, the Western Hemisphere, in Argentina. So we're there on 1st to 26. And then we are submitting whole of April and May, we are on Everest.
Okay.
To go to the peak of Earth, on 8848. So we'll be there, and April, May, we are hoping to be there and successfully complete it. And immediately in June, we want to be in Denali, which is the Mount of Alaska, and then go to Antarctica by November, December, and through which at least, so then Nisha could become the youngest female in the world, and coming from Tamil Nadu, coming from Chennai, and a place that has never seen snow.
Yeah.
So when you dream something, I think, like when you work towards it non-stop, it is possible. Like whatever, nothing is impossible. I mean, 3 years ago, this was not possible, but I think we are making it to be possible. And I think 1 year from now, let's make it happen, and let's get it ticked and complete it.
All the best. All the best.
Thank you so
We are
much.
cheering for you, Nisha.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and that would be great to make that happen. I mean, just not just as a father, but I think also as somebody empowering women.
Right.
That I mean, mountaineering is a very unconventional sport. It's very male dominant because of the physical requirements and all of that. But I think a lot of females are making history and records in there. My saying is we have to be the best.
Great.
So that's our journey. Yeah. On mountaineering, and I really look forward to take Tamil Nadu there. And of course, like as proud people, like every single peak we go, we are, we are celebrating it with our Indian flag. We, we sing our state anthem, the Tamil Thai Varthu, and our national anthem proudly, like to celebrate. I mean, that's a way to celebrate, and that's how we are doing in every single peak. And we hope to do the same in the rest of the four peaks as well, and get laurels to the state of Tamil Nadu and India.
On the startup side, do you see a lot of how's AI coming along? So, is there any specific areas that you handpick and invest in, or if the idea is good, if you think there is a problem being solved, you back that?
Yeah, I think couple of theses that we apply. So one of them is that, like if somebody is doing a product or a service startup, but it has to solve real problems.
Right.
It's not like just creating some apps for some convenience. That's not the way to look at it. I mean, it has to really create some problems in the society. That is one criteria that we look at it. And second thing is gestation period. It cannot be something that, hey, 5 of us got together in the next 2 months we can get this out. Because it's not supposed to be like that. I mean, and it's something that you do too quick also does not last.
So you're okay to wait.
Yeah, I'm okay to wait, and I invest in product companies which are mostly product based companies.
Okay.
Which means
Takes
to get
time
the
to
product itself takes time, like 1 years or even
Right.
like 2 years at time. And then from there on, before it's out in the market, it's going to be few years. So typically it's between 3 years to 7 years is a period that
So in for the
you'll
long
have to wait. Yeah, you'll have to wait to make a meaningful impact. Expenses, that's the kind of thing that I do, and mostly product startups. Having said that, I also invested in, not just product but also the service-based startups also. But predominantly my focus is on product-based startups to work with. And I've done, like a couple of investments in, I mean, they're all going. I've not taken an exit in any of them yet,
Okay.
but then, I just started 3 years ago. So it's been a while, but it's going really good. I mean, it is going good. And it is also expected that you don't expect every single startup to succeed,
Right.
because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, even 50% of them succeed, I am more than happy about it, so that is what it is. And yeah, a lot of criteria that we do. But what we believe is also that it's not just money in startups for success. You'll have it's money and more. The more part is the hand holding, the knowledge that we can share, the be with them and support them and guide them, get them connections, get them network, and try to help solve the problems. So this is all the more part of it, which you enjoy doing. Like, and now I have time, so I can do.
Okay.
But it's not easy journey, I'll tell you, because one, the founders, they have their own way of working.
Right.
You have to align with them. But then, like, it's all about fast. They believe that fast is the way to go. But we believe that hey, fast is not the way to go. You have to build strong first, and then you can go fast. I mean, to go ahead, you have to pull back. Like
The
you
foundation should be
have to be strong. So that's a little bit of a struggle. Like when we work with some of the founders, because they think things have to go faster and quicker and all of that. Yeah, it is right. But then without proper fundamentals, like, yeah, it's not going to end up anywhere. So that is a little bit of a struggle at times. But otherwise, yeah, it's good. But I see a big difference. Like the way how youngsters think today and how they could do solutions. And I mean, today becoming a billionaire, is no big deal. You don't have to be 45, 50, like 60 years to become a billionaire. And I mean, like people in 20, 25s are able to are able to become. So startups are the way for India's growth, and I'm a very, very strong believer of that, because that's because you put all your ideas to practice and get that out as early as you can in your life. And I mean, you go to Bangalore region, and for example, IIT Research Park also here in Chennai. It's amazing to see the minds putting things together. Yeah, sometimes I feel I'm so outdated when I go there. Yeah.
So between startups and mountaineering, you are also the president of Elsina.
Elsina, correct. Yeah.
So maybe something about
Yeah.
Elsina.
So Elsina has been, like I've been part of Elsina for the last 15 years easily. It's one of the oldest and the largest industry association for electronics and electronic components in India. I mean, it's a proud privilege to be the president of such a eminent organization. It's been like 58 years. Delivering excellence in the electronics industry. So mainly our focus has been on components, because like assembly is the very first layer. I mean, anybody could get into that as quick as you can do. But to build a very strong, sustainable future, it is all about components. And then beyond components, it is about materials. Right. And beyond materials, it's about design and development. It's again a circle. You have to make products made in India, designed in India, and you'll have to support all the components produced here, then the materials produced here, and it's designed and developed by our own people locally. So at LC now, we are absolutely focusing on component side, not just the final assembly, but the components. And the ECMS scheme that you would have seen right now, the Electronics Component Manufacturing Scheme, is a big push in that direction, which will create a lot of employment and also, like revenue for the country. So that is our key focus. So beyond that, we're also looking at technology development and supporting startups also there. How could large companies work with startups so that they can get the ideas together and get the products out to the market? So Elson has been doing a fantastic job in that region, like of developing electronic components. And we want to stay focused of components, be it active components, passive components, and electromechanicals and all of them. So yeah, I mean, thanks to government for the ECMS, and also, I mean, we also appreciate the state governments. Tamil Nadu, like came up with a very bold, or the first one who came up with said they will give a matching grant for the ECMS applicants if invested in the state of Tamil Nadu. So yeah, we work with very other.
The response has been phenomenal.
Yeah, response has been very phenomenal, and most of the applications that was approved in the first thing, I mean, a big portion of that is all being invested in Tamil Nadu also, as you can see, especially in PCBs and all of that. So a lot of work to do. I think though we have come a stage, but there's a lot more to be done to get India to be the electronics hub of the world. I think like we still have another 5-10 years to kind of make that happen. But I think we have to do. Speed is of the essence. I think really speed is what speed in all aspects. I mean, not just the government side, but also in the industry side, academia side, all of that. We have to kind of speed
Come
up
together and speed up.
Yeah, to be able to reach that goal. I mean, so that would be something that that, and our focus also to support. And in that aspect, I think Source India has been one event that we do every single year in Chennai. It's only getting bigger and bigger every single year, and the next edition is coming up on the 10 and 11 of February 2026. So looking forward to that, and I'm sure state government would also be a big supporter of the event there and coming up. Yeah.
So Shashi, maybe we'll just touch upon Tamil Nadu
Mhm.
as an electronics capital, as a industrial manufacturing powerhouse.
Yeah.
What do you think, from an industry standpoint, Tamil Nadu has done right to
Yeah.
reach where we are?
See, Tamil Nadu, yeah, my own home state, being number one in electronics, it's a very proud moment. And that, also the proudest moment is also that we have all been part of it. I think that is there. The opportunities were in the right time, right moment. I would attribute those to few things. First and foremost, I attribute to the visionary of the leadership of the state. Has always been very clear that that Tamil Nadu has to be at the number one front runner when it comes to manufacturing, and especially manufacturing of electronics or automotive or many other equipments. Focusing on manufacturing as, but that is where you create a lot of blue collar jobs. So the right thing is that our focus, focus all the way from the leadership of the state, to be making sure that that we want to be number one, that aspiration, and not just converting that aspiration also into proper execution. So that's been the front runner number one criteria. And second thing is also when it comes to execution, it's really not about just having a vision, but what we say is that everything matters with execution. I mean, you could create or ruin something if you don't do it well,
Right.
or if you do it well. So from that perspective, I think the focus and support from the bureaucracy of the state all throughout, like in several years, getting things right in terms of reaching out to investors, working with the investors, and then so that investors do not have to come and meet you again and again to ask for support and all of that. I think that whole mechanism of how to do it, what has been well conceived. And then the execution arm also, I would say that with a very special focus on focusing on investors in the state, easing out all the challenges that they will have during the phase of setting up, came up the Tamil Nadu guidance, as a organization to kind of handhold between the government agencies and the industry to kind of accelerate and shorten the lead time to go to market. That was a very phenomenal move that the state government also did. And most importantly, people. Again, I mean, nothing of this could happen without people. Tamil Nadu as a state has a very inherent quality where, people in the grassroots level, people at engineers level and all of that, they have a very high aspirations, and it's very quiet though. And when it comes to delivery, I mean, they just do it. It just happens. I've run an organization, a large organization, and then, the quality levels that we produce or we used to be producing from India, from Tamil Nadu, used to be very comparable with the best factories across the globe. And in many cases, many other parameters and operational parameters, be it yield or quality or scrap rates and all of that, they've been very comparable, even better than factories on the other side. So that comes sheer from involvement of people. I think that aspiration of wanting to contribute and aspiration of wanting to grow is also one of the main reasons, that the state has been flourishing with a lot of deliveries and so many companies setting up here. Is also that's because you get the right talent, right talent with the right intent,
Right.
not just the talent with the right intent. That is has been also on the very right on the state government side. That has also come from education, because you have also many other
Course.
states, like where you have people and all of that. But then the states focus on getting that down right from the education level and making sure that the people grow up the ladder. So focus on education has been the priority, which has also brought in a clear support to manufacturing ecosystem,
Right.
and especially electronics. And getting women's participation. I mean, there are handful of states which have large workforce of women working in manufacturing. That too in three shifts. Like it's unheard of. In many of the states, even today, you can't have women working in night shifts. So for in the state of Tamil Nadu, this used to be the norm since 2005, and we have never seen any untoward incident in the state. One of the most safest states, I would say, when it comes to workforce, deployment and all the other parameters as such. So all of this together, but the strategic location as well,
Right.
being close to the ports, on the logistics side and all of that. Plus, Tamil Nadu naturally has been the entrepreneurial driven state, with a lot of entrepreneurs here, and one of the largest state with manufacturing ecosystem factories. I mean, number of factories and all of that. I think all of this together have come up in a way that like at least we are enjoying the fruits, which is the electronics industry have been enjoying the fruit. So way through, I think we have done it right in many instances. But there's always a saying, what got you here will not get you there. So what has gotten us here will not. We cannot use the same strategies anymore, to kind of get to the next level. We have to think differently. I think radical change is mandatory in the way that we do things and automate a lot of things, like just not only in the government, also in the companies and all of that, and making sure that people are thinking, like ahead of times, which means innovation. Like innovation has to be, so we have to be moving from just a manufacturing capital to an innovation capital,
Right.
because innovation would anyway drive manufacturing at
Right.
some point in time. Otherwise, we are depending on somebody else to
Right.
tell us, what we should be doing. But then here we could do things for, like that we have designed and developed and all of that. So I would say that, we have done things right.
Mm.
And as I mentioned earlier, there were several parameters, that Tamil Nadu as a state has done right, at the right time, with the right intent.
With the right people.
Yeah, with the right people, and execution has been fantastic. Many cases, where, I mean, having said that, do it mean that there are no challenges at all? There has been challenges. I mean, there will be challenges going forward also. But how, as a state, that we approach and solve these challenges? I mean,
That matters.
we go to officers, they're all reachable in like minutes. Like you don't have to wait for days. And not just reachable in minutes, it also get resolved in minutes at most of the cases. I think that is what is important. Gives very high confidence for investors when they come to the state, that hey, there will be problems, yes, but then, like there has to be problems, like otherwise life is so boring. So when there are problems, how do we get resolved? Like, and here is the mechanism that has seamlessly worked year after year after year. Very good ecosystem overall, that we have. But focus next is, really to kind of innovate. I mean, we also have to feed all our engineers. We churn out a lot of engineers every year. So we don't want them to be on the assembly jobs. We really want them to be on the jobs where they can create more value. So that way, I think, yeah, the design development, innovation, startups, all of that are coming up. We need to focus a little bit more on that. And with speed, as I said earlier, speed is also kind of essence. So whatever we want to do, I think we have to be time bound. And when we say it's 1 month, I think let's try to do it in 1 month. Like at least aim for it to kind of get it done in 1 month. So these are areas that I would say that, we should just kind of get this going as a state to take to the next level. I mean, always there's a challenge when you are number one. You always have a big risk, and also a challenge on your shoulder, because you have to remain number one all the time. There's a lot of pressure. So from that perspective, Tamil Nadu government has that pressure, like to be the number one state, because there's also others are looking at it. I mean, they also want to take a pie out from you, what you've been doing here. And so we need to be different than what others are doing. And the only way to do that is being very agile, listen to investors, and then, like listen to the market and customers, what is required, and just do course correction and be very adaptive. That is the only thing that I would say that, we should focus on going forward. Yeah, being very adaptive to the situation. Yeah.
And globally, also things are in India's favor. Right?
Yes, yes, definitely. Globally, things are in India's favor because of various reasons right now, geopolitical reasons, and also the consumption of India. I mean, there's also companies, that we went back. I mean, like after a lot of years, they're kind of coming back to Chennai and opening up factories here again. That's because they just have a sheer confidence and commit that, this state will deliver what is being done. I would say that, we are blessed with great people, with ambitions, with attitude, and also,
With vision.
yeah, with vision and aspiration that they have to grow in life, and to contribute back. I mean, Tamil Nadu is also said to be one of the most states where civic senses are high. Overall, I tend to agree. I mean, I'm not saying we are the best.
Right.
I mean, comparing whom is what matters. I mean, if you compare somebody with to Finland, it's a different story. Like, I mean, Finland is only half of Chennai as a nation. But then, like, yeah, it's so clean there because there are no people, and there's so much vast, but so much of people over here. But still, we try to be, like somewhat there compared to many other states also in Tamil Nadu within India. So that also helps us in a level. But I think getting all of these basics right is important, and fundamental for everything is education. And the government has focused on that for decades.
Yeah.
I think that is why Tamil Nadu is kind of being also the frontier, not just in manufacturing, which is blue collar roles, but also, on software and many, which is purely the white collar jobs as well. So we are balanced on both. So I think if my wish is that, like while we continue to be the number one in India, I think our aim should be to become the number one electronics destination for the world,
World.
not just
Yep.
within India. That's a limitation. But for us, there's no limitation here. I think
Sky is the limit.
yeah, yeah, sky is the limit. So just have to go do it. I think it's we need bold reforms, bold vision, be very adaptive, and speed. So that's
Thank
all I have to say on
Yeah.
Tamil Nadu, and I think we are in that direction. No, 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 no doubt in it. It's yeah, we just that we have to focus more on innovation and get over there, to be in a place where, like we would be See, some will go to other states, and I mean, you can't get everything to Tamil Nadu. I mean, India has to be balanced also. So they go, and even if everything comes to Tamil Nadu, also we can't manage. And at the same time, I mean, we will manage over a period of time, but not assume that 100 large companies want to move to Tamil Nadu in next 1 month. Do you think we can manage? Maybe not.
That's why, as a state, also
Yeah.
we look at distributed growth. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
A lot of companies want to come to Chennai.
Correct. Yeah.
But then
And
everyone
Chennai
cannot
region
come
is
to Chennai, right?
no, everyone should not come to Chennai. Not cannot. I mean, even if they want to come, I would say should not come to Chennai, because where are the people for Chennai coming up to work? They're all coming from other parts of the state, different districts. And there is so much over there in other districts as well. And Tamil Nadu has been doing great on that, like distributing the growth, moving towards southern states, be it, like Trichy, Madurai, Thoothukudi, and all these regions, Coimbatore now coming up there. Hosur, yeah, Hosur has become like massive and all of that. I think we're doing the right things. And also not just that, also value systems. You stay with your family, then you're rooted to your place, and then you be with them, you grow there together. That's fantastic, rather than just migrating and remigrating. Let's wish Tamil Nadu all the best. I mean, like a great future, and also to be number one in the globe for electronics. And I believe we can do that with constant, clear efforts, and more towards creating value in terms of design development and owning product IPs in the state. So that would be our wish and the vision. Yeah.
And with leaders like you are a testament to the growth of Tamil Nadu, right? You have grown along with Tamil
Correct.
Nadu.
So yeah, grow from within, like the company, and grow with the company. So similarly, grow the state and grow with the state. So there's a lot more to do. I mean, while we have to continue to attract large investments, because that is where things happen in scale, but we should never forget to innovate, and then get also the startups become large companies. I mean, there are so many examples, like who have now made Tamil Nadu their home. Examples are Ola Electric, and so many other companies. Once was a startup, but today they've made a huge impact in the EV ecosystem. I'm sure that many other companies also in that direction, and so let's support this ecosystem, yeah, for better growth.
So this is just a small session,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some kind of a reflection or kind of rapid fire.
Sure.
So maybe you should go with the first answer that comes to your
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
And then maybe, so your go-to motivational quote, if any.
Go-to motivational quote, I always say, dream big and aim high. So that's a quote that I believe, and also one of the quotes that comes to my mind always with Dr. Kalam says is that if you have integrity, nothing else matters, and if you do not have integrity, nothing else matters as well. So it depends on you what you want to decide in life.
One Tamil Nadu brand that you admire, a brand from Tamil Nadu or a product from Tamil Nadu that you.
I think there are a lot of brands from the state of Tamil Nadu that they have created. One of the reasons I really love this brand is for the impact that they have created, which is Shakti Masala.
Okay.
Yeah, literally, inclusive for development. Getting people um, to have a meaningful life. So therefore, I have a lot of admiration for them. Apart from that, there are many other brands, in the Coimbatore region who continue to do a lot of work. I think one of them is KPR Mills, where they've educated hundreds of women to be, literate to the next level.
Right.
There are so many other brands like that. I mean, TVS and all that. But then, for some reason, Shakti Masala really comes to my mind for the inclusivity that they have been doing.
A book or a movie that deeply inspired you?
A book that deeply inspired me was basically one of the books called The Art of Start by Guy Kawasaki.
Art of Start.
Yeah,
Okay.
The Art of Start. That one book made an impact on me. And another one is also, of course, The Wings of Fire from Dr. Kalam. That also had an impact on me. There are many more, Who Moved My Cheese and so many others. But yeah, I think some of them.
Any movie?
Movie.
You don't watch too many
I
movies?
don't watch too many movies. That's a fact.
Because you have to read all the books.
Yeah. No. It was a joke. I said I did watch a movie. I said I watched a movie called Padikadavan.
Okay.
Then suddenly somebody reacted. The reaction in his face was so visible. He said, "Which is it Rajnikant's Padikadavan or his son-in-law's Padi? Which one did you watch?" I said, "No, the second one." He said, "Then you're so outdated."
Tamil Nadu for manufacturing or Tamil Nadu for R&D?
Tamil Nadu for R&D to be for manufacturing. I mean, you can't take two things separately. Like research and development has to happen for what? End of the day, you have to get that out to the market. So manufacturing is an integral part. I would say R&D is a means or the futuristic way to kind of develop the state to the next level. So therefore, we cannot forget manufacturing as our base, but we should really aim for R&D and move forward. So therefore, we need both
Both.
at the same speed, at the same intensity to create impactful delivery for the state. Yeah.
Artificial intelligence or human intelligence?
I think human intelligence will always win artificial intelligence because it's human intelligence that creates artificial intelligence. Nothing can beat a human mind, of what it is. But having said that, we have to use artificial intelligence in a way to ease our roles. Some of the things that we are doing, for example, writing something that, I mean, you can give a context to the system and you can ask it to give you a draft and all of that. So using artificial intelligence is not bad at all, but depending on artificial intelligence for everything, that shuts off your brain. Then there's no point in having I mean, you're basically making human intelligence zero, and then depending upon some decisions. So I would say artificial intelligence is to be embraced, but with humility. Intelligence is the best of everything.
If you could export one made in Tamil Nadu mindset to the world,
Okay.
a mindset which is made in Tamil Nadu to the world, what would it be?
Made in Tamil Nadu, I think the mindset of like can do,
Can.
and like can do and will do. Like when we say that we can do it and we think that we can do it, and when we work towards that we can do it, we have done it actually. There are many examples that we can state it that way. But of course, the environment and there are many other external factors probably that influences of doing that. I mean, we have been exporting a lot of people anyway, so a lot of minds out of Tamil Nadu, and the best of the best world leaders are all like from most of them are from Tamil Nadu, which is there. But then the attitude, I mean, the think of
Can-do attitude.
can-do attitude, and beyond that, I would say the loyalty that you have from people from this state. Like where we give a lot of importance to longevity, where we give a lot of importance to collaborating together, and not like really looking short term, but really looking at long term. I think I really love that mindset of Tamil Nadu where we have this long term thinking, not really of short term. And I think that is one thing that, yeah, probably we can give that to the world. Think long term, think of, like togetherness, and think of that, that we can all do it together. We can impact the world in a better way. Long term is something that, I think that comes to my mind. Yeah.
Last question. One advice to the Gen Z who is kind of in the workforce,
Yeah.
people joining the workforce, because now you already worked with a lot of people, you're working with startups.
Yeah.
So something that 2 cents for them
Yeah. Yeah.
on succeeding in the work.
Sure, sure. I mean, like, I would like to use this phrase which says that, like, when the going gets tough,
The tough
the
gets
tough
going.
gets going. So, therefore, like anything that you believe is very hard today is only to make your future better. I would like to use my own example in that case, just to kind of correlate into what I have been thinking of and what I have done. In my first job, when I used to be working, I've never seen Sundays. I never even knew how a evening was, because that, like beyond my work, I used to voluntarily stay back and then, try to learn a lot of things, work with the departments, try to go assist them, help them, like in some of the roles that they had as excess burden, excess work. I used to just go share their work for nothing, just because the only thing in return I wanted was learning. So therefore, at some point in time, when there was a customer who came for an audit, they asked about something. I literally told them, you go take this book, you go take this page, and you read this paragraph. The answer is in that book, because like I read that many times in the book, and they were stunned about it. I think that was the first impression my executive director got about me, and that was a defining moment, and that changed things. After that, the way they look at me after that was totally different. It changed. So preparation is important. So you will have to prepare and put in a lot of efforts initially. Nothing wrong, like slogging off the initial phases of your life, because then you can make the future a little bit more better, and so what comes easily in the early phase is not kind of sustainable going forward. So if something has to sustain, try to put enough efforts at the initial phase, because when you're fresh and when you have so much things to learn, I think the more efforts you do in that phase will, and nothing is going to go waste, including if somebody asking you to do something else. Take that as an experience, like don't crib about it, take that as an experience, try to do things. And in organizations, like you will have to learn every part of the business, And if you have to, I mean, be in a post of a CEO or a CXO roles, I mean, you need to know how every part of the organization functions, right? So, and you can only know that only if you've done it, not just,
Right.
like, knowing is different, doing is different. So just don't be on the knowing side, but try to be on the doing side. Even if, take small projects, like go ask for the other department, where you can add some value to them, just out of your own interest. You'll see the change.
And there will always be someone who needs
Of
some
course,
help.
of course, of course. Yeah, like you need help, I'm sure somebody else
Yes.
also needs help. So it is always, you just have to go ask for it, and so therefore put in a lot of efforts in the initial first 5 years of your career, or your life that you start with. It would be my advice to. I mean, I've done that, and I think I that has helped me. Hence, I'm sharing that. Like it would really help people. The first 5 years, really, just go out of the way and do everything that somebody's asking you to do, and everything that you believe that like can add value. Just go do it. Don't worry about the outcome. Just worry about the process, and put your energy there to learn. That would be my single advice. Yeah. Thank you, Ronnie, again. Appreciate
Thank you.
you taking the time and having me here on the show. And
It was our pleasure. We learned a lot.
thank you so much, and looking forward to be working with the state. Yeah. All the best.
Thank you.